Entaratasda, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kylaris, and today I'm going to be bringing you a game between WhiteRa, yes indeed we do have WhiteRa once again, and MYMXLord, who is going to be spawning as the Red Zerg here on Shakuras Plateau. So, a few announcements to start us off with. Firstly, this is going to be one of my last WhiteRa matches, I think, for quite a while, as I've been bringing you a lot of WhiteRa matches, and I'm pretty much just hyping up the fact that I'm going to be having a WhiteRa interview pretty soon, during this week, hopefully, and also I'll be bringing the community a Spanishua interview as well. I'm pretty much doing these things in conjunction with CSN and WhiteRa here. Going to be throwing down a pylon. No doubt going to be going for an expansion, Forge expand, but that's beside the point. What were my other announcements? I remember. Also, I do have a VT Perfect interview, as he did win after the clash, the CSN Cup that occurred not so long ago. So I will leave the link in the bottom for that if you do indeed want to see that. It's accompanied by an article as well, written by me. Thank you, thank you. Also, we have been recently doing some GSL almost live recaps, which have been just me kind of writing about the games in general, kind of like commentating, but in writing form, for CSN, and we've been posting those on Team Liquid. So again, I will leave you the actual links in the comments below, but if you want to check those out, please do if you haven't already. They are on Team Liquid. We're trying to get a bit more coverage for them. We are working pretty closely with GOM on those, as we do have Torch and Seltzer who are taking pictures very, very close up to the players. So we're really getting some good coverage there, and hopefully soon we will get some kind of feature on Team Liquid, etc. But for now, we're just in the SC2 general section. So yes, as I said before, I will leave the links in the comments below for those. And anyway, let's get into this game pretty quickly. It does look like WhiteRa is going to be expanding pretty early, and in fact he's expanding before Forge, which is really actually quite interesting. I wouldn't actually be surprised if he could get away with... actually no, he probably couldn't, because Zerglings will be on the way anytime soon. We do already have that pull down for MYMXLord, and he is going to be throwing that Forge down pretty quickly in turn. WhiteRa here going to be wanting to wall off this as quickly as possible, as those Zerglings could cause him a little bit of problems. We do have an expansion actually going down for MYMXLord as well, so nice timing on that expansion. WhiteRa, some people would try to cannon this, but I really don't see the point, as Zerglings are so close, and Zerglings will be picking off that probe pretty quickly. So now WhiteRa, noticing that those Zerglings are imminent, is going to be walling off with a second gateway, in fact, and going to be throwing down a pylon here anytime soon, as this choke isn't fully protected. We do have a photon cannon going down as well, and MYMXLord sees everything that's going on here, and one of those rare occasions where Nexus actually finishes before hatchery. Very interesting to see that. And that gateway does finish there, and these Zerglings are going to be trying to poke away at this pylon, but are going to have little success, as that photon cannon is going to finish very, very soon. And that Nexus is complete. So now just chrono boosting out probes here, and actually he hasn't really transferred many probes off this line at all. Normally you see the half being transferred, but WhiteRa content to just rally that Nexus to here, and some people would debate that that isn't the best way to do things, but apparently that's what WhiteRa is going to be doing. Do have Queen here, going to be throwing down some creep tumors, just connecting these bases as quickly as possible. That hatchery has finished, so MYMXLord going to be able to do some good injecting and get his production up quite well. At the same time, though, MYMXLord does know everything that is going on in this base. Cybernetic score just going down here for WhiteRa, and ultimately WhiteRa is very, very content to just play very passive at this point. And at this point, that's all that you can do really as a Protoss if you're going for this Forge Fast expand. And also behind that, MYMXLord could potentially expand another time, so I'm really surprised that we're not seeing another Expo going down, as he really does have free reign to be able to do that right now. Do have a lot of gas going down here for WhiteRa. He already has the 2 gas up in the main, and he's going to be grabbing those 2 gas at the natural very fast as well. So it really looks like he's going to be going for a very heavy tech build here. I won't be surprised if we do see a Robo or Stargate going down anytime soon. But at the same time, if he did go for a Stargate, Leia is morphing in, so I wouldn't be surprised if MYMXLord does have Hydras coming very, very soon. We do have that Robo going down now for WhiteRa, as you can see, in the natural. Throwing down a second cannon just to consolidate the fact that he doesn't have that many units out. Going to be grabbing a few sentries as well, just to be able to force field off in case any Baneling busters come along. And that's really nice play from WhiteRa, really kind of taking into account all the angles that could come along in this game. As you can see, just throwing pylons down now in the extremities of his main base. And I won't be surprised if we do see one go down here as well, as there is an Overlord there just spotting that. Roach Warren now half complete for MYMXLord, and as you can see, his lair has just finished. We do see a lot of creep spread going on here for MYMXLord, and that is one thing that really impresses me with MYMXLord's play from the replays that I've seen of him. He really does favour a very, very mass creep spread style, and look at these creep tumors already just spreading all over the place, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see this map gooped up very, very quickly. We do have range weapons level 1 for the ground units of MYMXLord coming up, as well as speed for Zerglings and Glil reconstitution, and a Hydralisk Den actually going down pretty fast. And wow, oh my god, we already see a Warp Prism in production here for WhiteRa, and he loves those Warp Prisms. MYMXLord is a little Psylocked here. He did have an Overlord picked off here by 2 sentries that I just forgot to show in the minimap, but I did see it in the corner of my eye. And Robotics Bay now finishing for WhiteRa as well, so we do have an Observer on the way. Oh no, it actually cancels that Observer in favour of getting that first Colossus out really, really fast. So wow, actually this is amazing here by WhiteRa. And it looks like that Colossus is rallied to that Warp Prism, so if we see a Colossus drop, I am going to absolutely wet my pants, as that is the most ridiculous thing in the known universe. We do have Gravatic Drive. Gravatic Drive this early on in the game, 9 minutes into a game, and WhiteRa is researching Gravatic Drive. This is truly special tactics, as we do see a few more gateways now going down for WhiteRa. And wow, look at this, MYMXLord going to be gooping up some creep here at this base here, just to make sure that Protoss can't expand there very, very quickly. A second Colossus now on the way, and it looks like that Colossus is just going to be skirting around the vision of that Overseer. So nice use of that Colossus, really trying to keep it away as long as possible, so it's not as noticed that much. A Spyro is already on the way though, as the Overseer did spot this Robo Bay here, and it looks like a Colossus drop is on the way for WhiteRa. Oh my god, this is utterly ridiculous. WhiteRa, what are you doing? It's going to bring it around to these mineral lines here, and actually MYMXLord has nothing to spot this, and it's going to be able to land pretty free. So we did have 1 kill on this Colossus already, but really not much else going on here. He has warped in 1 Zealot, and that's going to be able to do a little bit of damage here. Trying to focus down this Queen, as it was focusing down this Warp Prism. But the Warp Prism does pick up that Colossus. The Stalker, the Zealot even does go down, and the Warp Prism actually able to escape pretty well. And actually, if he had not had a Gravatic Drive finish at that point in time, I think the Queen could have actually caught up to that. So very interesting there. That Zergling did spot that Warp Prism though, and this Warp Prism going to be coming around to this base here to try and do a little bit of harass, but I'm pretty sure he won't get that much off, as yes indeed, the Roaches do deny that pretty well. And we actually have 7 Hydralisks on the way now, and this Overseer is going to be chasing this Warp Prism around, just going to be scouting to see if it can find it, so we shall have to see what goes on there. Forge now going down for WhiteRa, and it seems like he's really going to want to get those upgrades pretty quickly. He already has 1 Forge pumping there, and going to be able to do that pretty well. This expansion here for MYMXLord not going too well in economy-wise. Really needs to get that droned up, but ultimately this Overseer has spotted this, and oh my god, the Hydras actually take that out so quickly, and that's 1 Colossus lost there. So I'm really not sure that that actually paid for itself, as it only really got 1 drone kill ultimately. Tried to do a little bit of harass at the top base there, but as you can see, that Overseer was pushed out of the base there by those Stalkers, and once again gooping up this Robo Bay. MYMXLord doing a really nice job of contaminating here, and that Forge there actually was killed off there by WhiteRa, so nice use of that really. Getting +1, killing it, and then putting down another Forge to consolidate for the fact that he had to get out of his base. But look on the minimap right now, ladies and gents. Absolutely insane creep spread here from MYMXLord, just going into the 13-minute mark of this game. And as you can see up in the top positions here, just spewing out creep everywhere, trying to deny as many bases as possible for WhiteRa, but he certainly forgot about this one, and WhiteRa is going to be claiming this second expansion pretty darn quickly. So, a few more gateways on the way for WhiteRa, as you can see in his main base, and we do have pretty nice Colossus count going up, but at the same time, MYMXLord is going to be preparing for this with a lot of Corruptors. I wouldn't be surprised if we did see a Hive morphing in anytime soon. As you can see, the Infestation Pit is going down in the second expansion. We're getting air ranged weapons for MYMXLord going up, and he's just going to be pushing to this watchtower here, going to be using the vision of these roaches, etc., to be able to expand this creep even further. And right now he knows that this expansion is going up, and this observer is going to be coming in here to have a little poke around to see what is going on. But oh wow, an Overseer in that mix actually gets the kill pretty much on that Overseer, or Observer even, and MYMXLord gearing up to take a 4th base now. Jesus Christ. WhiteRa could be in a really bad spot if the production of MYMXLord does actually explode in the way it may do. But WhiteRa is keeping up to a certain degree on the bases and actually getting a Twilight Council as well as a second Forge. Wow. So he's going to be going very upgrade heavy pretty damn soon. You see ranged weapons for the ground units going up to level 2 very soon here for MYMXLord, and WhiteRa just kind of keeping his units very clumped up and concise here, whilst he does try and take this expansion up in the top here. Going to be throwing down a pylon and trying to deny more creep spread from that Overlord. But at the same time, I'm pretty sure that he knows that MYMXLord is positioned right outside his base. He's just gearing up to actually kind of deal with that, and MYMXLord here going to be moving out a little bit whilst WhiteRa tries to take down these expansion rocks in order to maybe secure this base here at the same time. We'll have to see. But at the same time, MYMXLord going to be pushing up here, anticipating that there is a base here, but then kind of going to be actually coming to get this pylon kill. So a small victory there for MYMXLord. In fact, no, he's not going to get the pylon kill. Just going to be moving up here with a roach, and he is indeed morphing in a hive now. And at the same time, a big engagement going off here. A lot of corruption going down on these Colossus, and going to be focusing those down with those Corruptors. But at the same time, really nice force fields here from WhiteRa. Going to be able to lay those down and cut off quite a few of these Hydras. And wow, actually the ground army of WhiteRa cleaning up a lot of this. And oh my god, there are so many Stalkers left in comparison to Roaches and Hydras. All these Hydras being taken out pretty quickly, and now there's just a lot of Corruptors there, just absolutely useless for MYMXLord. And WhiteRa here going to be able to push up here, does get that pylon kill, so indeed there was that small victory for MYMXLord eventually, and that Roach does die in the process. So Great Aspire actually now coming down for MYMXLord, and he is going to be grabbing himself a macro hatch. And I won't be surprised if we do see a lot of Broodlords in production very soon. He is just consolidating his forces here, getting a lot of Roach Hydra, but as you can see, Duckload Ra is going to be moving out to try and taking out some of these creep tumors, as this creep spread is going to get pretty scary pretty fast. So WhiteRa going to be trying to expand another time here, and we do have +2 armor and +2 weapons, or is that +3 weapons? No, +2. +2 weapons going down for WhiteRa, trying to keep up in the upgrades section, and we do see another hatchery going down. Oh my god, double expanding here from MYMXLord. So if he once again, the production is just going to absolutely explode for MYMXLord. 200 to 164 on the supply count here, and WhiteRa could fall very vastly behind if he doesn't get a lot of units out anytime soon. He is grabbing another 3 gateways, and ultimately that Great Aspire has just finished, but we do see +3 range weapons for the ground forces here of MYMXLord finished, and a lot of Corruptors here, probably going to be throwing down a lot of corruption, and we do see that corruption going down now. Few force fields going to be going down, and a Guardian Shield actually going down, going to be negating a lot of the damage here, but at the same time, MYMXLord just has so many units. Although that being said, these Stalkers of WhiteRa are doing a pretty damn good job cleaning this up. Hydras aren't actually as amazing against Stalkers as one would be led to believe, especially when in such small numbers in comparison to this Stalker count. Blink now on the way, and 16 Roaches coming out now. A lot of Zerglings did come out here, and they're going to be fantastic in supporting these Broodlords. Oh my god, how many Broodlords? 8 Broodlords now in production, Jesus Christ. So, but we do have +3 weapons on the way for WhiteRa, and this saturation is just kicking off here at both of these bases. So WhiteRa are going to be pretty okay. He is going to be taking out this hatchery pretty quickly as well. If we just come to the income tab here, WhiteRa is actually pretty much ahead in the income, and taking out that hatchery is a nice little secure there for WhiteRa. Just going to be killing off those broodlings, as they do actually do a little bit more damage than one would be led to believe. So now even more Broodlords actually morphing in here for MYMXLord. He already has, oh my god, he has a absolute mass of broodlords here, almost 16 broodlords, ladies and gents. So WhiteRa is going to be expanding once again up to this northern position. And MYMXLord here, actually sort of slacking on his creep spread. It's really kind of a deterrent actually having these bushes here, as he needs to move units into position to actually be able to do that. It looks like WhiteRa is going to be moving his stalkers here and blinking up with the aid of that observer. So really nice use of that blink there. But at the same time, a lot of Zerglings here are going to be able to do quite a bit of damage to these stalkers, but just blinking down once again, leaving one or two on the high ground to be picked off. But these broodlords are going to push in here and do significant amounts of damage. But in response to these broodlords, as you can see on the production tab, we do have a few void rays coming out for WhiteRa, so he's really taken the right response to this, especially since there aren't really that many corruptors now out for MYMXLord at this point. He's morphed in pretty much all of his broodlords well, from corruptors to broodlords. So ultimately, he's going to be in a bit of a bad spot if this void ray count does get a bit too high. Going to be trying to do some harassment up here with these Zerglings, but a lot of Zealots do warp in and indeed do a lot of damage to those Zerglings. At the same time though, these Broodlords are going to be coming in and trying to do a lot of damage to these Stalkers, and at this point, blinking, actually that was really clever, blinking forward with just a handful of Stalkers in order to be able to push back those Broodlords, but there are way too many Broodlords here. Although that being said, going to be denied any more harassment by these Void Rays, and he really doesn't want to get too overeager with those Void Rays, because getting really close to the entrenched position here of MYMXLord could be very detrimental. So now we do have Carapace level 3 for ground units on the way for our Zerg buddy over here, but these, wow, actually getting a lot of infestors here, going to be throwing down some infestations or fungal growths even on those Void Rays, but now these Void Rays are charged up and going to be able to do a lot of damage. Jesus Christ. There is a Queen out here though, going to be able to probably deny these Void Rays in the end. But at the same time, blinking up into the main here, going to be able to take out the Hive. That's a huge hit. But in fact, he's actually going to be able to kind of blink up here and take out as many Broodlords as possible, as opposed to actually trying taking out that Hive. And that Hive does survive. Jesus Christ. So WhiteRa here in a bit of a bad spot. As you can see, the Zerg, the Zerg force here is getting a bit out of control. He's getting +1 weapons for his Void Rays, and if he can get a lot of Void Rays out, he should be in pretty good shape, but at the same time, these Broodlords are just going to be able to do so much damage to this Stalker count, since there are so many Broodlords. A few Hydralisks here getting in on the mix, and these Broodlings are going to be trying to take out as many as these rocks pretty damn quickly here. We do have +3 weapons for flyers coming out at this point, and these Vikings, these Void Rays, going to be getting a bit overzealous and trying to do as much damage as possible. But these Stalkers at the same time blinking up, trying to do as much damage as possible to these Roaches, and Roaches and Hydras just coming up here, trying to take out this expansion as quickly as possible. And wow, actually losing a few Broodlords there to these Void Rays, and that's a pretty big hit. That being said though, these Stalkers are going to be able to try and come down here, bit blocked here, blocking themselves off, and one Spinecrawler is cleaning them up. Nice transfuse there on that Spinecrawler, and ultimately these Stalkers are going to have to move away as these as this ground force is just going to overpower them pretty soon. Nice blink micro here though by WhiteRa, going to be trying to run away as quickly as possible, but at the same time we do have a Dark Shrine on the way, and those Stalkers get cleaned up so easily by this ground army. Jesus Christ, one Roach going to be chasing away this Stalker, and indeed will destroy that pretty fast, as +3 weapons for Roaches is so powerful going on into the later stages. So WhiteRa going to be starting his Colossus production once again, and really not doing too much. We see a huge amount of saturation up in these bases, as he really doesn't have much more economy coming in. As you can see on the economy tab, actually both really close once again, and Broodlords now going to be raining down havoc on this expansion, trying to take it out as quickly as possible. The Void Rays are going to be trying to push those up back, and indeed they do for just a little bit. We do have melee weapons level 1 on the way for the Zerg, and going to be raining down a lot on these cannons. These cannons actually going down pretty damn fast to this ground army, and now going to be pushing in with these Roaches and Hydras, and it looks like MYMXLord's going to be going for the finishing blow here. Huge fungal growths going down on these units, but nice Guardian shields, and oh my god, all these units here just not denied by any force fields whatsoever, and what on earth is going on? Super lag here, sorry about that ladies and gents. And now MYMXLord looks like he's going to be able to secure the win here, as this force is just so overpowering. But at the same time, these Colossus doing a massive amount of damage to these units, all of them in the red and orange. And now WhiteRa in a really bad spot, gonna probably be forced to GG pretty soon, as MYMXLord here just showing a dominating style for PvP, whilst WhiteRa really couldn't do anything for a whole lot of the game. He was trying to do a lot of harassment with Blink Stalkers, as well as trying to deny the Broodlords any access with those Void Rays, but ultimately MYMXLord just doing so much damage in general, now reinforcing with a lot of Infestors, as well as these Roaches and Hydras, and now these Broodlords are just going to have free reign over this expansion, and these ground forces are going to have free reign over pretty much everything. Few DTs going to be warping in here, and it's going to be doing a lot of damage actually, as there is no Overseer in order to be able to help them out. But WhiteRa must sense very soon that he is out of this, and wow, that Overseer does come along, and WhiteRa does GG. So thank you very much, guys. That is going to be my cast for today. As I said before at the start of this cast, if you would check those links out, it would be very much appreciated. And I hope you enjoyed this. So thank you very much, and I will see you guys next time.